Now it might come here though.
Yep, too thin on the first red, which is why he caught a second red.
Judd won that little safety battle. The shot he played before was a good one.
One.
Now what has he got? This is his first real opportunity to score.
Eight. Nine.
Played that well, the blue just away from its spot. But he's perfectly in behind it. Certainly knocking in a 147. I think he made 5 century breaks on that first day he played in Antwerp to get to the last 16. Real signs that he's playing better.
Well, I'm sure
14.
it all stems from the right attitude, really focusing on the game every day, practice and matches. Oh, but suddenly
14.
a simple red gets away from him.
Yeah, I wouldn't quite say it was simple. I expected him to get it like you did. I suppose he was forcing it, and he had to hit it fairly straight, not to get into the black on the way through.
I should have said simple for him.
Yeah, no, it was. I expected him to get it as well. But that's the point, isn't it? Talking about snooker players, if you're high up in a company, managing director, you can designate other people to do all the work and you can just sit there. But if you're a snooker player, you can't get someone else to practice for you. You have to do it all yourself, however famous and well off you are.
And it's not just a case of putting the hours in. You have to practice with full intent and full concentration. Snooker has to be the biggest thing in your life every day. Obviously there is time to enjoy yourself and enjoy some of the fruits of success, but maybe Trump left it a little bit too late to really get his head down and get into this season. He's only just starting to do so.
This is a tough one. Yeah, it was a very awkward shot. Pressure was on it, it had to go in.
One. Seven.
That never looked in, did it? From the
Judd
moment he struck it.
Seven.
I think that was as easy, if not easier, than the other one he missed.
Can't afford to miss too many early on, because it's only best of 7.
1.
I don't know if he played that exactly like that. If he did, it was a very good shot. Came very close to hitting the black on the way through. I'm not sure how many of the reds in the bunch will pot. Possibly none of them, actually. Well, he's got a shot at the red at the bottom now, but look at where the cue ball is. It's far from easy.
8.
He'll play it, I think, but very missable shot, this one.
Marco Fu, 8.
It was tough. So this is the third chance that Trump has had in this frame.
1.
Yeah, and I think that this is the chance he has to put the frame away in, personally.
8.
Otherwise he's setting a bad trend for the rest of the match if he doesn't win the frame here.
9.
That's okay. And once again, Judd just with slightly the wrong angle on this. Not the best place to get from a colour to a red from. That's not bad. I think he gave himself an area there on
16.
the table where he could be on one of 3 reds.
Seventeen.
Again, sensible. Didn't go into the bunch for no reason. Played on the loose
20.
one. That was a good shot.
21.
Now, this time he's not perfectly. I think he wanted to go higher up, so he could just directly go into the 5 reds. There is one at the bottom of the pack which goes. Played with reverse side, right-hand side on that ball.
26. $27.
Once again, reverse side. This time, again, right-hand side. Made the cue ball fizz up the table.
34.
Makes it look so easy.
Yes, needed to come around that ball nearest the left side cushion.
35.
Well, difference with 5 reds left is 60. This goes in, it's 67, and that's exactly what's left on the table. So one more red needed.
$42.
So this is frame ball.
That was a beauty. He'll be delighted that's gone in. That has settled his nerves, I would think. He's a very entertaining player to watch once he's in full flight. And, I'd love to see that. I'm sure Marco wouldn't, but he's a very good player.
51.
I think entertainment is right up there in his list of priorities when he plays this game. There've always been a few players like that excite you to watch them playing well.
58. 59.
Trump's taken his time in making this break. Hasn't rushed into any shots.
65.
The attempt to knock the penultimate red into a better position has failed there. But it's far too late to make any difference.
65 in the frame.
So with that 65 break, Judd Trump equalises at 1-1.
Welcome back to Coventry for the opening exchanges in the Champion of Champions tournament. It's the opening match from Group 3, featuring Marco Fu and Judd Trump. Fu took the opening frame before Trump struck back in the second. This is now the third. Trump has made the running so far, but it's Fu who is back at the table.
Can get on one of the reds, the 3 in a line, the right-hand one. If he gets this shot right, he can land on that.
Eight.
Now his decision is how to take this break any further than the next red and colour.
Nine.
Well, if he's straight on the black, he can't cannon the 2 reds. Can he come between the pink and the end red to take the red along the cushion?
I wonder if he's gone far enough. He didn't want to
16.
be going too far to leave it straight. I'm not sure he can get to that to pot it. 2 reds, are they a plant? I think he's going to have to just run away from this. Yeah, didn't go far enough on the shot before.
Marco Fu. 60.
All it's done is put him back in the frame.
At first glance, that looks quite good. Would have been a bit worried that he brought the red so much into the middle of the table, but the blue is covering it, so that's all right.
Marco's got to be very careful here. He could leave a red to the middle. Oh, that's very well played. Confidently played.
A lot more awkward from the jaws of the corner pocket for Fu than it would have been from the D.
we've been playing for over an hour. Match time come out to 1 minute and 3, or an hour and 3 minutes rather, and not much closer to finding out who's going to win this match. It's absolutely anybody's.
Well, apart from a flurry at the end of the second frame when Trump made a nice 65 to clinch it, the exchanges have been pretty fragmentary. Still, you've got to win all sorts of frames if you're going to win tournaments.
Very nice. Very nice pot. It always looked in. I wondered if it might just drop down at the last second and hit the near jaw, but it didn't.
Judd Trump, 1.
It's a funny old shot because he didn't really try to do a lot with that.
Yes, you'd have thought putting the whole of his concentration into the pot, he was more likely to pot it, but sometimes it works out the opposite way.
Marco's been anxious about this shot. He may have left a red for Judd. And that is something he's got to stop doing, because if he starts knocking these in, then Marco Fu's in a lot of bother in this match. He didn't get anywhere near it though, did he? Don't think he really fancied it, but he needs a bit of cover. He's been lucky there.
Well, if you don't get that type of pot, there's absolutely no way of predicting where it's going to finish.
One.
Just wonder here whether Judd would consider knocking the blue out and holding for the red. Don't know that he's got the exact angle. If not, then as a left-hander he can reach the green easily. It might turn out that he doesn't really need the blue that much with his lead of a few points.
4. 5.
So he's 10 in front. He should be needing up to and including the brown in the clearance. Ooh, stayed down on that one. He wasn't certain it was in. So he's got a 14-point lead. He could get to 23 in front
9.
on the blue with 18 left if he knocks in these 3.
$11.
Trump just double-checked the scoreboard there.
Yeah, it's certainly a frame that isn't going to live in the memory for very long,
14.
but they all count.
$18.
And he could do with this just going in, and Marco will concede, otherwise he'll certainly play on.
Thanks. Judd Trump, 18.
So it looks like Trump's frame, but from Fu's point of view, it's 1 snooker to tie. And if he were to pot the blue, it would then be one snooker to win.
Just wonder if he can get in behind the black on this. If he's trying to screw in behind the black, I think maybe the blue would be travelling too fast. It would come down the other end of the table, the same end as the cue ball's in. Well, that's what he's done, Clive. He's tried to win the frame with one snooker.
The black is reasonably well situated for that. Just a couple of ball widths out from the side cushion. But that's not the shot that Fu wanted.
Marco Fu, 5.
Yeah, this is not hanging over the middle pocket.
Six.
A very quiet 27-minute frame, but Trump has won it to lead by 2 frames to 1.
6 in frame. Judd Trump.
Welcome back to the Champion of Champions tournament. It's opening Group 3 match between Trump and Fu. Fu won the opening frame before losing the next 2 to Trump. This is now the 4th. Trump applying the pressure, building on a break.
I saw him play at 8 years of age in a junior tournament in North Wales. And it was a real festival of snooker, and there was a big crowd watching him play. And he, at that point, looked like he was going to be something quite special. Unlucky there.
Steve Trump at the back there.
13.
Steve Trump, in fact, drove a lorry all the week, and then drove Judd and indeed his brother Jack to junior tournaments at the weekend. Said he absolutely loved it.
13.
Yeah, that is Jack. Yes, Trump was making breaks of 60 plus when he was 8. Made his first century when he was 10. Was English under 15 champion at the age of 10. First maximum in competition at 14. But however much natural ability you've got, you've still got to put the hours in to reach the very top of the professional game. And not just for a while, all the time, for several years. Has been number 1, but has fallen away a little from that. Currently ranked 4.
Marco could have easily stuck that red over the left corner, but it's gone to the cushion. But he has left something else. Just signs that 1 or 2 of these long pots are starting to drop in. Ominous signs.
Before that shot, both pink and black were tied up. In fact, they still are, albeit in different ways.
6. 7. 12.
Can he win the frame with reds and blues? Doesn't look as if he's going to be taking pink or black for quite a while.
13.
No, it's very difficult to see how that would happen. Enough reds out in the open where he wouldn't want to take any kind of a gamble. But I think he could win the frame like this. It takes a bit more thought. Already
80.
35 in front, so he's halfway there.
$19. 24. 25.
Once again, just a touch of reverse side. That cue will fizzed off the cushion to get top side. Looked like it was going to be short, but he had something on the ball.
30.
Now, this is a bit of a stretch, this one.
$31.
Just top side. These are all good shots to finish high on the blue. I always say it, but it makes the game so much easier when you can just land in behind it to drop on a red, then go all the way around the table.
36.
And seems to be enough points on the table for Marco, of course, but each red brings the remaining down by 8. And Trump's scoring all the time. See, one is going to overtake the other. The lead in remaining. Because with 3 reds out in the open, he could comfortably win the frame here now.
$37.
Just again, far enough on the blue.
$42. 43.
This time, the wrong side, but it's all right, actually. It's not the worst place to finish. Well, he wants another red after this, and he'll be safe.
$48.
Not exactly a rhapsody in blue, but 8 reds, 8 blues brings him within one more pot of winning the frame.
Yeah, and the maths are that Marco can win the frame, but with the red to the left of the black blocking it, I'm not sure how he can do it unless he moves the balls.
Judd Trump, 48.
Trump a pretty hot favourite then to take a 3-1 lead.
I'm not sure how Marco's going to get this frame back in his favour.
.65 behind, 67 on, but what makes it worse is that the black is not potable.
I'll be very surprised if Trump wants to play that red. He looked across at the one behind the black. That's Marco's problem, not his. Just wonder if any way he can plant that red. Hit something onto the black. I think it's a very difficult shot, but he's got to try something, I believe. No, he's not interested there. The table certainly runs true. They're right behind that shot, and that speed, it went in a dead straight line.
Compliments to the table fitters. Well,
Foul.
Can't win
Trump 4.
without the aid of a snooker now, or penalty points.
Yeah, no miss is called either for that reason.
Strange, really, the way that virtually every frame this afternoon has settled into a grind.
I thought that break of 48 was worth a lot more in this frame. Those 8 blues that you mentioned, Clive, I think that was a first sign that Trump is getting into a little bit of form. But otherwise, you're right, the balls have gone awkward and both have missed a few.
Could develop the awkward red. Took a big chance in that he might have left it for Trump, but I think one red is blocking the other. But at least there's a possibility now of getting blacks from the remaining reds.
One.
So ends a 6-minute orgy of safety play.
Words fail me to that one, Clive.
Seven. Marco Fu, 7. Frame conceded, frame.
Conceded.
Judge.
I think Fu was quite glad to see the back of that frame, but he's 3-1 down. Trump is 2 up with 3 to play.
Thank you, frame 5. Judd Trump to break.
So Judd Trump within a frame of victory. And if Marco Fu is to win this match, he's got to find a higher gear somehow.
Yes, he hasn't played anywhere near as well as he has been playing lately. As you say, he was very close to stopping Ding Junhui win 3 ranking tournaments in a row, losing by the odd frame in Chengdu just a couple of weeks ago. Is he playing a double here? He is. Unlucky. Unlucky. The red's coming back, and that's where it's always a worry when that happens. You never quite know. It's the far jaw where it'll finish. But he likes to take risks. That's what his game's been built around. If that double goes in and he clears up, we say, what a brilliant performance.
Well, I think the nation really took to Trump when he reached the final of the World Championship at the Crucible in 2011. He lost 18-15 to John Higgins, but that was a great final.
One.
Right in between. Blue doesn't pot, black doesn't pot, pink's half ball difficult. Might have a look at the green with the red up the table. It would need to go in if he was to play it.
Now that looked altogether more difficult
Fu. 1.
than it would have done if Fu had been in his rhythm.
One.
So Trump has shown us a couple of glimpses of his best quality. 65 break to clinch the second frame, and a 48, which was all reds and blues, which was highly instrumental in giving him the fourth.
He'll be looking to get these reds open
3.
as soon as he can.
4.
He's got no angle to do so here, so it will come with the next time he lands behind the black. No, that's not a good shot. That really isn't. Wanted to be much straighter on the red. If he gets
11.
the angle on the blue, the problem is where the pink is. It's high above the pack and protecting them. So take a good shot to split the reds from the next colour. Still got one out on the left he could play on and wait till the last opportunity.
$12.
I'm knocking the pink in here. Mightn't be the worst thing he can do. Oh dear, no, that really was a poor one.
Judd Trump, 12.
There's no excuse for that, Clive.
No, just took it for granted.
I was tempted to use the dreaded word careless there, which I never do, but I actually think that's the nearest thing I can think of to it.
Well, I think careless would have been fair enough.
Yeah, I didn't see him missing it. That just came from nowhere. It's a shame because see him probably thinking about how he was going to get the Reds open 2 shots beyond that.
It's a touching ball, Marco.
I'm not sure what he played there. I guess he might have played to pot that, but at that speed he's quite lucky not to get closer to it and leave the red on. He started okay in the first frame, Marco. I thought he looked very sharp, but he hasn't played well since then at all. Surprising. I think there'd be many people that might have fancied him to beat Trump here. He still may do, but he's not played well enough to win. And it's in contrast with how he's been playing this.
And it seems that most times he comes to the table, he's got a shot which is awkward in some way.
Yeah, that was an awkward one that Trump's just knocked in as well. It's a good shot. I wonder if any of those reds pocket that were in the bunch, he looked at something in there. Maybe it was a plant. Now this is another good chance for Judd. If there isn't a plant, if he can finish high on the blue, he could get into them at last. Now this is the shot. This could win in the match, this one. I think that's fine. I think he's very pleased. Little spring in his step walking around the table, seeing where they finish this time.
14.
It's in his own hands, Clive, from here.
Yeah, good chance that this is the last visit of the match.
15. $22. 23.
'There's a slight distraction there for Judd. I would have hated that to see anybody put off by something outside of the table, and it went in, thankfully. He just had to get up from his shot originally, and it just crawled into the pocket, that one.
31.
He's got a bit more to do. It's taking 48 points in front. A couple more reds after this will make him safe. That'll do, that's nice. Red to the middle's always the backup red there. If he does win this match, I firmly expect
38.
him to play a lot better tonight. I think this win, if he does go and win, will do him a lot of good. It was a sticky old match on paper, playing someone like Marco in the form
39.
he's been in, tight match player. But he might just come through it. He's a bit straight on this. Just one more red needed.
Trump's had to play a lot of frames this afternoon of the type that he doesn't really like.
44.
Slow, grinding frames, dictated by the position of the
45.
balls mostly, rather than his opponent. Although his opponent was also intent on keeping it pretty tight.
He's not played too badly in the last couple of frames. He missed that awkward
52.
shot in the previous frame and an easy pink here, but
53.
just signs are that after a quiet spell, his game is coming together. That 147 he made, we've mentioned a few times in Antwerp last weekend, it only wins one
60.
frame, but it would give any player a boost.
$61. $68.
Developed the green,
69.
which was the obvious obstacle to making a century.
Judd Trump.
Well,
69.
No century, but Trump has finished off what was basically a pedestrian match with a nice effort of 69, and he goes through the winner by 4 frames to 1.
Judd Trump, the first man to register a win in Group 3. He'll face the